Hello everyone, welcome to the first Kernow Sport race report of the 2012 season. We'll be concentrating on just the team and we'll follow our drivers Mark Wicks and Simon Cattell through the race and see how we got on during the team's Superleague debut for round 1 in Australia. To begin with, I'd just like to point out that our car is the least upgraded one on the grid. We've no performance upgrades at all, just a single engine improvement so far. Anyway, qualifying wasn't particularly successful here. Simon managed 11th whilst I languished back in 22nd as we take our first green light of the season. Both Simon and myself get semi-decent launches. I'm a bit more leery though, and then we take it easy down to turn 1. Simon goes in steady, but several other more eager cars close in around him and knock off his front wing. I dodged the flying bodywork parts and Bart's burning Hawkeye before also passing a Peugeot. The first lap of a new season is its usual chaotic self. Guys going off here and there, but both us Kernow cars managed to play it sensibly enough and keep on the black stuff. I squeezed by rejoining Synergetic, who I guess was Clark as he repassed me before the end of the lap. Simon tries to limit his slide down the order and race back to the pits, something he does pretty well considering the damaged state of his car. In fact, he's still fast enough without that wing that I'm only just catching up with him by the time he peels off down the pit entry to be the first driver of the new season to take a race pit stop, which is an honour I'm sure he could live happily without. Meanwhile, I think I crossed the line 17th, which is a 5-place gain from the grid, but still pretty far down the order. Unfortunately for Simon, he's been dropped to about 20th after the pit stop. Already, I'm anticipating a slog of a race for us. And it's all made worse when I muck up turn 3 on lap 2 with my only error of the day, and one that also costs Mark Stanton time and places. I just plain out break myself, to be honest, and I do my best to avoid Mark, but there's the slightest of nicks to his rear wheel that just sends him round into a spin as I slide on into the gravel. Not a proud moment to start the year with, but once I rejoin from the gravel, after nearly having ended my race prematurely, I get to have a battle with a constant. Stanton's always a fun guy to have an on-track dice with, but overall I feel he had more pace in his car than I did, and it was a fair struggle to keep up with him. Melbourne's never been my strongest track and I'm still not maximising the car, so hopefully I'll be a bit more competitive in future. Switching back to Simon on lap 4 as he tries to make up ground, he bottoms the car out on a curb and it just spits him off at high speed directly into one wall, then into another, and that kills his engine. Race over already. I'm still chasing Stanton though, but ahead of us Jump manages to lose his front wing against the back of Thomas. The offending wing bounces into the track and sits there where both us marks come across it, and we have to take late avoiding action at high speed. A few laps later and I'm running a surprising 10th, now having caught up with Thomas and having brought Stanton with me. Out of the chicane though, I get loose applying the throttle and Mark nips past. But a few corners later I almost felt he was about to repay the favour when he got loose, barely managed to hold on to it and keep me behind. And then he takes on Gavin. I have a prime viewing position to watch them go side by side, and I even try to stick my nose in too, but can't make anything of it and have to watch them exchange positions. I then spend a handful of laps shadowing Gavin myself, and despite having plenty more corner speed, I'm unable to find a way past really. By lap 14, Kieran's caught us up, and at this moment I decide not to fight as I'll take a pit stop at the end of the lap and try to leap Gavin that way with a bit of a nifty undercut. So when Kieran does make a move, I just completely back out of it and give him the corner. I didn't really see any point in defending when I was just about to pit. Same with Tom Ely later, who also passes me that lap, and then I have a task dodging Kieran's recovering Woods car before taking my pit stop. Now I exit the pits in 15th and straight away I'm thrown into battling with Easterbeek over turn 1, just squeezing enough to force him in behind me, We have a short, good battle, and I was put to the test defending, as he tried a handful of moves to the outside at various places, but a little while later he gets an opportunity to show his nose down the inside of me at chicane, and I run a little bit wide and lose exit speed, which allows him through. Then I'm straight into defending from Junt next, who I'm sure after this race is sick of the sight of my rear wing. He spent a lot of time looking at it. I have to let a leader through mid-corner, and that puts David right in a good attacking position, but like me, I think he was struggling a bit with car performance and not 100% confident on the brakes, so he was reasonably easy to defend from, and McLean didn't fight over his position when it came to passing in, but I was soon overhauled by his teammate into turn 1 and demoted another spot further from the points. After my next pit stop, about mid-distance, it was more of the same again, rejoining 13th and defending turn 1 from Junt this time, who locks up slightly and takes to the grass. Again we begin a little battle, but I think I managed to defend well enough and cover the inside lines and not grant him any prime overtaking opportunities. I was lapping the fastest I had all race at this point, but it was still a long way off the top scorers. David tried to move around the outside down to turn 3, but it didn't come off. He then tried the same thing the next lap to try and set up a move, but going to the outside, he has issues under braking and locks up his rear wheels and spins, and so ended our little battle there. And so to the end of the race I crossed the line in 12th, pointless, and with Simon's DNF it wasn't the best outing for Kernow Sport and a pretty underwhelming debut, but some large upgrades are in the pipeline for the next couple of races, and they should really help kickstart our season. So we'll see you all in Shanghai with a nicely improved car, where we hope to perform much better. See you all then. Bye.